Hi there. I want to provide some feedback for the improvements I hope to see in NoRizzk moving forward. Um, with the notion of the test log, um, here I have the screen where I sort of have some stories with tests in them. And so what I had asked for is in a test log health for each of these. Now, right now, if I have a test scenario, or it should probably, let me click in on this guy. See, this has multiple steps in there. What I would like to see is a pass, fail, or block for every one of these steps, and not one all end for a single one. And then I would like to see that broken down in this fashion, all right? Um, so that would be very helpful. This right here I get, but that's kind of not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this sort of effect for each of these guys. And then if I were to, let's imagine this was a test log. So give you an example. Let's suppose I had a number of, let's suppose these 4 steps were part of a single use case. Then I would want to open up in the test log, um, you know, drill in that this particular test component has 4 test conditions or scenarios, and each of these has subsequent test steps. Go ahead and have a sort of concatenation, a sort of an aggregation of what those test steps are. So I would like to see, as an example, let's suppose this is a label, mobile device testing, and here instead of bugs, I have these test conditions which contain within them test steps. So what I would like to do is I'd like to have this sort of pass-fail block condition or unexecuted all right here, and then if I was to close them out, then this parent label should have the overall average of its content or children test metrics. I hope that was clear uh, about what I'm hoping to see. All right, and then something else that I wanted to mention, which I felt was a little lacking, was, let me see if I could pull this up. I'm looking in the defects. Now there is a no clarity here about how the linked user story and linked defect works. It seems like I can't go back and edit anything now that I've committed a change. So I'm not sure how that works. Looks like if I need to make a change, I'd have to go to Pivotal. And then any change in Pivotal would then get reflected or updated here. But there's certain things, though, that do not necessarily show up in Pivotal, such as the priority and severity, sprint categorization. So these guys, I'm not even sure how they show up. I don't think they do in Pivotal Tracker. So if I look at one of the examples that I created, here's an example. So I don't necessarily see that in this bug, which was actually created from within NoRizzk, any kind of priority information. I'd like to be able to see either a custom field here that NoRizzk makes for that. Yeah, or some sort of like canned um, template that auto-populates the description or something about the priority level, right? So if I say that the priority should be medium, high, or severity is this, it should all reflect back right here in some way. Ideally, in additional custom fields. You could see how I use a product called aha.io. Aha Labs makes it, and there's a custom field that they create. So if I have um, a story that's linked to them, it would actually put this it would populate this. So I would imagine if there was a way to put NoRizzk bug ID and then just sort of a hyperlink or a case number and then maybe launch that from here, that would be ideal. And then that's one quick way to quickly ascertain the priority or the bug severity. But it would be nice, really, to see some fields in Pivotal that are that reflect what is seen here. And I'm guessing that the affected release and fixed release, all these are still yet to be implemented. I'm not sure, but that'd be nice. And also the links user story. Um, Not sure why there's no way we can link that, or I'd like to know how to link that. So that was all pretty unclear here, and I hope that there's ways that I could potentially just edit and make changes here, um, and then resync. So that seems to be something that's not quite here yet. Um, Something else I wanted to mention, also in these interpretations from the graphs, I would call that complex event processing, and it would be phenomenal if the system could sort of do a pass through and figure out based on the charts that are getting generated um, what these trends imply. So if the system is smart enough to understand the shift left paradigm and automatically applies it, then you could just sort of imagine how, at least this is what I'm imagining. Let me just kind of show you what I'm trying to get at here. So if I'm in the NoRizzk and I log in, so you could imagine right here, there could be some sort of a banner announcement or some sort of a slider if I go in reporting, and if I go into the dashboard or some sort of the chart here. Let's see if I can just switch back to one of the sprints where we did something. I think it's this one right here. So rather than just use up that whole space, why not just split the screen in half and have the system sort of offer tips and pointers based on shift left? And that would be fantastic. If you have a place for some sort of intelligent commentary by the NoRizzk system based on shift left, so that I think would be a value add that would be just priceless. Um, Being able to provide some sort of mechanism where as it is automatically as these graphs are automatically happening and getting determined, that a little banner shows up and lets tip of the day. Only 50% of the stories are covered so far. It's just a great sort of guiding tip or mentor or counseling field. I think that would just personalize NoRizzk in a way that no other tool can or has, and it would just be incredible. And I'm not sure what kind of work effort is involved, but again, this is for a NoRizzk 3.0 or something. Just being able to drop these types of tips, minimize the gap, as an example. Just be able to point out that there is a gap. Please minimize it. Consider minimization. Or say that, and if, again, point these guidelines, right? And that's so helpful. So that the talk about shift left isn't just a conceptual, abstract guideline that somehow starts to fade away as the realities of day-to-day business takes over. If the guidelines for shift left are charted along if these guidelines are provided along with reminders to minimize gaps, simply because the system understands that the graph is not turning out based on the guideline, then that would be just phenomenal. Would just be a sort of a value add that's unbeatable. So same thing here with the risk burn down. All these valuable inputs, I could imagine, could be something built in to the system through some sort of event processing service. And see if you could if do some sort of a minimalistic beginning of that, such as just charting these guidelines on the graphs, extremely helpful. So let's hope that this feedback really helps in ways to that really improve this product. I'm really enjoying using NoRizzk right now, and it's really helping with my productivity. So I just can only see this product getting even better and better, and I wish it a lot of success and prosperity. All right, thank you. Hope that helps.